Mike Johnson has some seemingly conflicting goals, okay? He wants to gut the social safety net, the net that you and your family likely rely on in a number of different ways, but he also doesn't want you to end up being mad at him and the Republicans for that, and that's a very difficult thing to do, hard to do in practice, but he's gonna give it his level best. So here he is on CNN.
Going to cut benefits for people who are rightfully deserve it. And watch this play out, just reserve your judgment. The White House has said that we're not gonna do that. The House Republicans have said we're not gonna do that. And Senator Kennedy said, hell no. Okay, so you heard it from the Senate, the House, and the White House. So let's let this play out. We have a long football game to play. Last night was the kickoff of the game. So just watch it play out and you'll see. I think the American people are gonna benefit greatly by the package that we're gonna produce for them.
I just love how clearly on her face you can tell that Caitlin Collins isn't buying literally any of that, and she shouldn't, because he's effing lying. And so, as Aaron Rupar pointed out, moments after vowing no cuts to Medicaid, he said he supports work requirements for Medicaid, which, to be clear, is not the only way that they're going to be cutting Medicaid. They've promised $880 billion in cuts. Do they think that we were asleep over the last couple of weeks? I know that you know about it, Francesca. I saw that you put out a video on Instagram that went like basically viral, talking about these cuts. But the way they're gonna try to get everybody to be okay with it is, no, it's not that we're cutting Medicaid. It's we're cutting it for people who don't deserve it. Those lazy bastards who aren't working enough because they're sick or disabled, or they're working because they work. This is like, how do you convince working people to accept their own economic subjugation? You just tell them, oh yeah, so you're gonna suffer, but don't worry. The ones who are lazy that you should hate, they'll suffer slightly more. Are you okay? Will you sign on to you losing the benefits that you've paid into for decades at this point? And he is hoping that people will accept that. Mike Johnson has no respect for the American people, certainly not for working people, certainly not for people who need Medicaid. And he is hoping that they will accept these absolutely massive, titanic cuts that they're gonna be doing so that they can hand over trillions of our dollars to the wealthiest people in the country. Francesca, what do you think about it?
32% of people in his home state are on Medicaid. I mean, this is the party that, I don't even know if we're calling it family values anymore, but 40% of all births covered under Medicaid, pregnant women covered under Medicaid, right? And that's not it. I mean, SNAP benefits benefit families with young children. WIC, women, infant, children, which helps families get a formula, in the early months of their and years of a baby's life. That's gonna be on the chopping block. All of these things are on the chopping block, and John, it's just crazy. Like, it's not only that they're just kind of trying to find some cuts and have a small government. It is, as you said, a direct wealth transfer. This is about finding money so that the rich can write off their yachts. That's what it is, so that they don't have to pay as much in taxes as you do earning $40,000 a year, right? Like, this is what it's about. The class war could not be clearer than in this budget bill. Now, I think some analysts are saying it's gonna have a steep road in the Senate, but the same analyst also said it's gonna have a steep road in the House. And the three congresspeople who were a little bit on the fence immediately caved. Massey was the only one, and not because he's a good person, but because he's like, I don't think that we're gonna lessen the deficit like that. And it's like, shh, that's not the point. Shut up. Shut up, we were lying about the deficit. Nobody cares about the deficit so long as we're giving money to the rich.
Yeah, the deficit is a thing to talk about when Democrats are in charge. That's it. Because you don't want money to be spent to benefit actual working Americans, middle-class Americans. It's not a thing, like Donald Trump didn't add $8 trillion to the national debt his first term because of his deep love for deficit reduction, okay? He did it because you spend the money when Republicans are in charge, and then you leave the Democrats to try to fix things and be fiscally responsible. And sure, there are, if we go ahead to graphic 3, there are some senators who are like, no, we're not gonna allow you to cut Medicaid. And Josh Hawley says it, and Lisa Murkowski says it, and Tom Tillis says it. Yeah, but we also heard that they weren't going to allow some of these absolute conspiracist whack jobs to enter Donald Trump's cabinet, and they're all happily on there. The only one they didn't get was Matt Gaetz, and they didn't even have a chance. Maybe if they just waited, they'd have him too. And so please do not just expect that surely someone is gonna save my family's access to healthcare, because I have not seen that much of a backbone out of the Republicans so far. And just the idea that they're gonna do it again. They did it under Bush, they did it under Trump, they're gonna do it again. A massive culling, letting people lose everything, lose their homes, lose their lives, human sacrifice on a massive scale so that Jeff Bezos can get another yacht. So that Elon Musk can buy another election or whatever. That's what they're going to do. They talked about, somebody mentioned in the chat, they talked about death panels under Barack Obama. They're not even doing a panel right now. They're not even going to consider whether they should take away. They're just gonna cut for millions and millions of Americans. Your healthcare is gone. It's gone. You will not be able to afford it anymore. And many of you will die as a result of that. But it is, after all, very important that Mark Zuckerberg buys up more of Hawaii, I guess. It's a sacrifice I'm sure many Republicans, many Fox viewers will be very happy to make so that Mark Zuckerberg can have a little bit more beachfront property.